What's up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. This is EOG Gaming presenting you a Minecraft video about, well, the top 5 Minecraft best shaders in 2021 November. And honestly, I think it does include the best shaders for, well, low-end PCs and high-end PCs. But before I start, I'd like to introduce you to, well, a new YouTube channel and Discord server called R9 Esports. And this is the Discord server about, well, R9 Sports and gaming. If you have any questions about other games, or you like to play other games, let's say for example another popular one is Fortnite, you can, well, experience this here. We have the owner, which is Physics, co-owner, administrator, you get the idea. And if you're a YouTuber as well, you can also get the role of being a content creator. And yeah, it's pretty good, about 100 people inside. And now if we go to the YouTube channel, and this is their YouTube channel, which is quite good. I mean, they have very awesome quality videos, which is great, and it's mainly about, well, Fortnite, which is also another popular game. Now, coming back to Minecraft, well, I'd like to get into the first shader. And this shader, yes, I have used before, because this shader, as you probably recognized by the look of the water and the land, well, that shader is the Complementary Shader. And I included this because mainly it has a large variety of options, which you can, well, customize it, and you can literally make it for either low-end PCs or high-end PCs. But what do I mean by that? And, well, does it have a separate texture pack or anything? Well, no, because the new latest file actually includes, well, the texture pack within the shader. And if I just show you this, hold on. And this is what I mean by high-end PCs. Hold on, it's loading. Because it has its own PBR. I mean, just look at that. Within the shader, its own texture pack isn't that great? And just look at the water. It has beautiful reflections. Just beautiful water. And its own very own PBR. I mean, who would have expected that? And not only does it have this option, but it also, pardon me, has the, well, Bedrock RTX version, which is kind of confusing because if you ever wanted to have Bedrock RTX, well, on Java, this shader has it. I mean, for a start, look at the water. Isn't this what Bedrock RTX has? I quite like this. I did make a video on this as well. Anyway, up to the second shader. The second shader is actually, well, BSL. Why did I include this shader? Well, first of all, I love the water. The water, I think, is the most beautiful thing in this shader. I mean, just look at the amount of detail put in it. Right. Second of all, oops. Well, the lighting. I sometimes do like the lighting in certain areas, but generally I think it's a little too dark and foggy, if you know what I mean, and clouds just seem a little too cartoonish. But the other effects and everything else just seems great, and this is actually a great low-end PC shader because it gets you high FPS. If you just have a look, I'm on 117 FPS, 121, which is insanely high for Minecraft using a shader. And this shader also supports PBR and POM, bomb PBR. So feel free to use any type of texture pack you want. Moving on to the next shader. Continuum 2.1 EA yet again takes its place and carries on as being one of the best Minecraft shaders, mainly because of how real it is, and I personally don't know how many videos I've done just with this shader, because the water beats anything else. Well, the Continuum RT water probably beats this, or generally the Continuum RT beats Continuum 2.1, but it's a high-end, it's for a high-end PC, and even my PC can barely run Continuum RT before it explodes. But Continuum 2.1, oh wow, just look at that. Just look at that. Continuum 2.1 should do the job pretty well with some good quality FPS, like 60, if you manage to turn some of the settings down. The lighting is just great. It does not have its own texture pack or anything else like that, but generally speaking, it's one of the best Minecraft quality shaders. Let's see which shader takes the next place. Taking up the next place we have, well, this sounds weird to say, but we have Zeus Renewed. Why? Well, first of all, it has some great effects. Third of all, it has some good FPS. And it can be for a low-end PC with some 45 FPS, and then for a high-end PC with like over 110 FPS. But if we start off with the water, we can see that it's actually pretty realistic. Not the most realistic, but it just has that sort of color and effect to it, which makes it look beautiful. As for the lighting, let me just set time today. As for the lighting, it does a pretty decent job, except I can't really see through the leaves, or like doesn't really reflect as much, if you understand what I mean. But overall it's quite good, I guess, which is why I decided to include it. Now the next shader will actually be another Zeus shader, and that is the Zeus PTGI HRR 2.1. Whoa, that was a mouthful. Why did I decide to include this shader in it? Well, because it is insanely realistic, like Continuum 2.1, and mainly Continuum is a continuation of Zeus, just different. They used to work together. But firstly, the lighting. The lighting is fantastic, but sadly I cannot see through the leaves, which is still a pain. And the water is incredibly realistic as well, and just looks modern. Like, as I said in some other videos which I compared Continuum 2.1 and Zeus PTGI, well, Zeus PTGI would fit great for modern builds. I just love the water. I love the green bit, like how you can actually see things. And this is mainly why I decided to include this shader in this video. As I said, the lightning does its, well, very own best job, and you can actually see the shadow quality is insanely high. I mean, just look at that. So, yeah, I really do hope you enjoyed the video, and do not forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hasta la vista.